I'm in the beautiful New Forest today for POW TV, visiting the legendary Sarah Doukas in her other life on her family farm. She is the founder of Storm Management in London and Los Angeles and the force behind stars such as Kate Moss, Cara Delevigne, Jordan Dunn. She is renowned for turning models into successful brands, and I'm so excited to be sitting down and talking to her today. So your family have lived here for how many years now?
Well, they've lived in the New Forest since, 1790. They've lived in this house that my grandmother, she used to call it a pig in a poke. Dreadful place. It's so small, she said. Moved here, I think, in 1958, something like that.
Okay.
And so I spent, all my formative years here with her.
Because it feels here like that,
I preferred to be with her because it was such fun on a dairy farm.
Oh, there was cows here, was there?
Oh, this was her dairy farm.
Oh my goodness, what kind of cows?
Guernseys.
Oh.
And she treated me like an adult. And she would say, there's a cow calving down. You've got to get up. It'd be like 2 a.m. and I was 6 years old. I would be up out there.
With your wellies?
Yeah.
Did you kind of learn how to deliver a calf, or were you, not really just...
Well, you think you don't know, because you don't think, that when you live on a farm, you don't realise you're actually learning something every day about the land, about the animals, about everything, making hay. And so I suppose I do know quite a bit.
Most people have only lived in their house maximum 50 years, but you've had 5 generations here?
Well, in this farm and the next farm.
Yeah.
The farm, our fields are joined, and that's where my great-grandfather was born.
So how did you get into horses? That just naturally
Just
again?
because the New Forest, they're here, and I got bought a pony. Well, we rode every weekend. So they lived in London, my parents, and I was at school in London when I was little. All holidays were spent here, but every weekend
Were they in
here.
business like you, in fashion? Or
No, my father was a consultant gynaecologist. And my mother was a pharmacist.
And they came back down at the weekend. Have you got any strains of what maybe your grandparents have bred on horses, still that bloodline here?
I wish.
Did you live here all the time though, or did you go into London?
I was at boarding school, but I lived here in every holiday.
That's such a memory though.
I lived here in every single holiday. I mean, I can remember standing in that grate on tippy toe and not being able to see in that mirror. Same mirror was there.
Your energy's in the whole house, so and I don't believe in your lifetime it'll ever go out of this house.
I hope not. It's a miracle that we could keep it.
And you've had nothing with your mum.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think that
nothing.
drives us a lot, because you don't ever want to be like that again.
Well, I watched both my grandmother here going bankrupt.
And mine struggle.
Went absolutely spectacularly bankrupt, lost this farm. And I stepped in and
that
had a massive
Sarah.
argument with the bank. Yeah, I mean, I was in my early 20s and I went up against Lloyd's Bank because they allowed her to take a mortgage out. Oh, because she became sentimental. So all her dairy cows, when they went dry and couldn't milk anymore,
she kept them.
They should go to market. She kept them. So it was an absolute nightmare. And she just sold all the land off. My family literally had nothing.
Yeah.
And they couldn't even eat. I would bring food here. Yeah. I would bring, my uncle lived here with my grandmother, and I would bring him clothes in winter. He'd say, I used to go to the gentleman's distressed. But
that drives us,
Of course it does. And I don't ever want to end up like that.
No.
So I am driven.
Because your mum and your grandmother were hard-working grafters. They weren't like sitting at home.
Yeah, no, they all did. And I mean, fine, my father had money, but he left, so...
How did she deal with that?
Oh, she went round the bend and I had to look after my brother, my sister Emma, who's an actress, Simon, my brother, and my cousin, who was adopted by my parents, Christopher. Now, I took them all on. My father went off to Australia when I was 18, left my mother, 17, I think I was. And I kind of looked after the whole family, and there was no money. He left. I mean, you couldn't go and say, can I have a tenner?
Yeah.
I mean, there literally was no money, so I did...
See what you did, yeah.
I did a variety. Oh, I used to clean for a living.
So did
for this company called
I had 6
Problems.
cleaning jobs.
Everybody loved me. I was a great cleaner. And I worked in Kensington Market in a dress shop opposite oh God, what was the leather shop called? I think Freddie Mercury used to work in there at one point. Yeah, my friends they used to make these satin handkerchief skirts and dresses. So I used
How
to
did you
work
get
in
that
there.
job? Did you go in and say, I'm looking for a Saturday job?
Oh, I was crazy. I hitched to London. My parents moved to Yorkshire. And I was like, I hate it up here. I'm not, I'm not
staying
staying.
up here.
So I hitched to London, dangerous, and then slept on the floor of a flat in Nevern Square in Earl's
Were you
Court
wild?
with friends. Pretty wild.
Pretty wild was a bit.
Slept
But
on the
stable,
floor.
though,
8 of us.
Knew what
yes.
I was doing.
Oh
did
yeah,
you?
no, and I never got into
Yeah.
crazed drugs. I mean, loads of my friends did.
But we knew what we were doing because we had a
Yes,
work ethic.
I had a work ethic.
That
I was
keeps us
determined. I had
stable.
to do
Did it you?
Yes.
It kept me really.
I
The
have
work
worked
ethic kept me stable.
all my life, like a lunatic.
Yeah, me too.
And then I got a stall in Kensington Market and sold, boxes, in the music boxes, writing boxes.
What do you mean?
Oh, Les Boîtes Anglaises, these boxes.
Oh, I see.
And then I went and lived in Paris, and I had one in Clignancourt.
A stall there as well.
Yeah.
Good woman.
On the
How old
street.
were you?
21. And I used to drive backwards and forwards, and I kept both the stalls, but I had a French boyfriend, so that's why I lived in Paris.
Did they do well?
Well, I mean, I must have made enough to live on.
Yeah, but we
I had
didn't
no
know
other
really,
income.
did we? Just thought,
No.
we didn't really know how to run a business then.
Of course I didn't.
Good learning
I look
curve.
at my books now. I've still got all my books of buying all the antiques and doing stuff. And then I modelled. I hated it, but I did model as well.
In Paris? Or
Both
here?
in London and Paris, yeah.
Right. And so when were you at your happiest?
I loved when I lived in Paris and had that antique stall in the flea market. That was the most fun time. And
Did
then
you make any money? Yeah. But did you find any
there used
rarities
to be
there?
yes, I did. I found all kinds of amazing. I used to save stuff for Butler and Wilson.
So you had an eye for things even back then, didn't you?
Yeah, that's
really?
probably what started the modelling.
Yeah, you see, the
It
model.
was probably that.
Looking at beautiful things.
And then I
or
went and
whatever.
lived in America, and I had an antique market. I sold again in
Stop
Oakland Flea
it.
Market.
So you were doing antiques before you did modelling?
Well, I was doing modelling at the same time.
No, but you would do that was your bread and butter, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
And you loved that.
I loved it.
You see?
That's my favourite thing.
That's what there we go.
They
now.
don't know, you're right, it is. They don't talk back to you.
No. For me, like what you do, I presume, is like a really cool casting director as well. Like a friend of mine, I don't even know Ros Hubbard.
Yes, I love Ros.
Ros is one of a good friend.
I love Ros
she's
Hubbard.
in Dingle in Ireland now, and John. But she could look at someone and think, that's a star.
Yes,
That's
I think I probably
have that feeling, that gut feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I found Anya Taylor-Joy, who's a great actress now,
Yes.
doing everything. I found her walking her dog at 14 in Hans Crescent. And so she never really modelled.
You're the queen of what you do. You are. No, come on. You're not egotistic, but you are. I dislike when people say that, oh, she's tough, she's this, she's hard. I don't believe that. I think it's been assertive and knowing what you want. Would you agree with that?
Yes, definitely. There's no way you can run a business without being assertive.
No. And driven.
And driven.
You have to be driven.
You have to be driven. Every day I go into my office, I am driven. I never feel half-assed about it. I go in full of, right, what are we going to do today?
Yeah. But it's not been
I'm never
ruthless,
depressed.
though, Sarah. It's
No.
not. It's been determined to be the best.
I just am yes, that's how I feel. I want to be the best. I want Storm to be the best.
Yes.
Not me, but I want the company to be the best. I love it when people say, oh, you're doing so well and you found this great new girl and she's doing brilliantly. It's really difficult to find.
Yes, rare.
That is finding a raw diamond.
If you find a model, which you found the most famous and most models with the most longevity as well, how does that feel?
I think the thing that I love is that some of them I found and some of the other people in the company have found. But it is an amazing thing to actually find somebody on the street that had no intention necessarily of being a model. Some of them, like Kate, for example, stayed for 28 years with the same agency. In our business, that doesn't happen.
No, because you found Kate Moss,
somebody,
didn't you?
and Cara Delevigne and Liberty Ross, Devon Aoki. I found a girl in an Aboriginal girl in. I find people a lot still because I love it. But I found an Aboriginal girl in Perth a year ago.
Are you conscious of them?
Well, I mean, Tim and I were.
Yeah.
Yes, I am. I must be.
It?
I had
Yeah.
this. She was with a whole gaggle of Indigenous people. her aunts and babies and goodness knows what. And Tim and I were running to the airport. So it was the last thing on my mind. But I just had a vibe, and he just said to me, I'm leaving you. I'm going back to the hotel and we've got a flight to catch.
Yeah.
So he left me in St George's Terrace in Perth, and I was absolutely hellbound and determined. Anyway, a year later, she is probably one of the most beautiful girls I've ever seen.
Really?
Well, such a difficult life they have.
But their energy is beautiful.
Yes.
And aren't they?
I think it is.
Spiritual people.
Yes, unbelievably spiritual.
How old was she?
14. A mother been murdered. Father in jail. Honestly, I find people all over the place. I found a girl across the road. She was in the field over there from the farm. She's fantastic.
Is she
amazing looking?
Is she?
Hazel Townsend, absolutely stunning.
Do you look after her now?
Yeah.
That is, see, you could be on your
Yeah,
doorstep.
No. She was on the doorstep. Yeah, I just think it's an amazing thing that they stay with you.
Yes.
I mean, they don't stay forever. Nobody stays forever.
No.
But it is an amazing thing to get to the point where you can perhaps turn them into a brand. That's what I love, that you've
just said it's the brand now. Are you very careful on building that brand?
Yes. Paula, my PR that's worked with us for nearly 30 years, very carefully placed, authentic, not for the sake of it.
Yeah.
So, you really have to hold out, and you have to have a strong resolve to do that.
That must be difficult. It's like thinking, it's like having a winning hand.
It is.
Yeah.
It's like playing poker.
It must be.
It really is. And also, the other thing is, if you sell out on certain magazines when you know the girl's got the potential to do Vogue. So if they do Elle and Harper's, they're not going to do that. So, you could have a wonderful shoot for another magazine, and you think, no.
So it is a bit like playing poker, isn't it? And it's also, I'm not interested in what you've got. Is that right?
Well, especially if you find them. Yeah. Yes, you feel really strongly about it.
Of course you do.
Because also you've taken somebody out of their natural life. They might not have ever wanted to do that, and you've given them all this hope. So you really have to believe in them. And,
do you have to be tough with them? Assertive, sorry.
Yeah.
You do?
You do.
Like a mother to them?
I think like a mother. But I mean, they have to, there has to be a certain amount of respect. But then I'm pretty soft with my kids.
Yes.
So I am a softie with them. I mean, even my staff say, come on.
I'd say I wouldn't mess with you, though. I wouldn't mess with me. No, but we're lovely.
I wouldn't mess with you.
We're lovely.
Yes.
But if you're delivering, there doesn't need to be any bad feeling
God, I
there.
mean, there are loads of people in my office I've never had words with. No, there's no need to.
Has she passed the mirror?
There's no need to.
We passed the mirror. So if you think now, the average age is 83 for a woman. Women looking great at 50, 60, 70, 80.
I've got models in all ages, and the oldest one I took the other day, it's 2 years ago now, is Beryl. She's 90.
Right. What's she like?
Pink hair.
I've seen her. Yes,
I
have
love
seen
her.
Yeah, I've seen her around.
Well, I get terrified if we ring. I'm very scared if she doesn't answer the phone.
But do you think, from a marketing perspective, women looking at another woman, like you look glamorous, beautiful. You do.
But you do too.
But no, come on, I'm 58, 59 coming up this year. Okay, so we're the same age. But if you're maybe younger than me. No, you're
I'm
not.
a bit older than you.
Well, you don't look it. You look younger than me. But
I hit the 6-0.
But if you think now, you look amazing. You wear lovely clothes. You've got your hair's
Well, the amazing
nice.
thing is we all wear the same thing. I mean, my children wear my clothes.
My clothes too. My daughters wear my clothes.
Yeah.
So that's a difference. So is there going to be a new era of models that our age can relate to, that look good and think she looks good? Role models.
Well, I'd love to take people of that age group that have. I mean, in any case, I think. Modelling, of course, it's still there. Hopefully it will always be there. Honor Blackman used to live, she must have lived in near Jubilee Place, and she used to pass my car every day. But she used to go up to M&S, and she used to, she always used to say when I parked my car as she was coming up, very nice parking. So we used to have a chat, and then I said to her one day, I really would love to represent you, Miss Blackman.
Stunning.
And she said, I think you need your eyes examining. I went, no, I don't.
And the other thing I wanted to ask is about the plus size models. Do you encourage that? Or do you think for health, is it setting the wrong example?
No, I mean, I love them. I mean, you know, I took Sophie Dahl, you know, she was size 16 or whatever. So I had no worries with that. And I also wished, in a way, I mean, that was not my choice, you know, because I thought she was absolutely beautiful. She's still beautiful to stay, you know, as she was. But, you know, we've got quite a few ladies, and I would not say to them...
But is it becoming more popular?
Yes, definitely.
I thought so.
It's huge
But
business.
you've got the Kardashians that aren't like
no.
size
It's
zero.
really big business. If I need more and more, gosh, come to me. You know, honestly, I mean, we've got literally all shapes and sizes. I can tell you that. I actually, this is awful. I went to see the Queen. She asked me to go and see, I don't know how long ago, it was about 8 years ago. 100 women went to see her. And she looked at me and she said, "Do you take women of all shapes and sizes?"
She says.
That's what she said to me. And I looked at her and I thought, well, in all honesty, yes, I do actually, because I had Sophie and various people. And I said, yes, I do. And she said, oh, how nice.
That is nice, though, isn't it, that you do? That's so important. Do you know, I've met some amazing women in my work, and I can see that you are one of the pioneers in what you do, but also you're a very special woman.
Oh,
you're a very
sweet.
no.
I'm that.
You're a very special individual, and you make people feel at home and relaxed. And I think that's part of your success. The other half is that you've got a really good eye, and meeting you, it's like I've known you all my life, and it's been such and coming here today, I feel like it's almost like I've been here 100 times, and that is such a reflection
it's a very
on
nice
you.
thing. Well, yes, but you're like that too.
I'm a reflection, but it is a reflection, and I'm so grateful I came here today. Thank you for inviting me.
Have you.
Thank you, and we're going to have a look at that donkey now up the road.
Come on, let's go and look at that donkey.
Should we do that?
Yes.
Then? All right then.
He needs a love.
Oh, he doesn't need any love. He's spoiled rotten.
He likes his ears being scratched.
Oh, he's just adorable. Shrek, the sequel.
I would sleep with him.
I would have him in the bed beside me with a blanket.
I would have him in the bed in a flash.
And kiss him on the head.
If my husband disappeared tomorrow, he would be in the bed.
Let's go and see him then.
Come on then.
Right then, mate. This is the Hampshire Long Barn, and that is actually attached over there. What did you? Oh my God.
Say 1807 AB.
Oh, that's lovely. What did he say? All the fields as far as you can see, and